Welcome, wherever you find yourself. This is Diaspora Talk right here on KMTV, Liberia's premier online television. We are everywhere. That's why we are here on this wonderful Friday. Welcome. Let's take this intro and we will be right back to kick off this edition of the program.
When the issues of Liberia hit the news,
what is it that we, the Liberian people, want?
the Liberian communities in the diasporas are not left out. That's why Diaspora's Talk is back on your screens on KMTV.
In fact, the United Party is not cohesive.
Be it social, political, economic, and other issues affecting Liberia and the diaspora Liberian communities.
I did not expect to even make it to Hollywood.
Join Cyrus McGee and Nathan Charles every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, live on KMTV, Facebook, and YouTube.
I want to be arrested in the midst of our people.
As they discuss the issues, blending the voices from Liberia and the diaspora Liberian communities.
The Liberian Business Association in the diaspora should be used as a vehicle for economic development in Liberia because no country can develop without a diaspora impact.
For sponsorship, call cell numbers 612-806-5896, 816-433-3979, or better still, email us at usakmtv@gmail.com. Diaspora Talk, turn this out. Let your celebration begin with Park Liquor Outlet, your first Liberian-owned liquor store in the city of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. We have everything that you need to set that special occasion or bride. For your next party or great get-together with friends, visit Park Liquor Outlet. We have great selection of beer, wine, gin, and many more at affordable prices. Our customer service will make you always want to come back. We are open Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Park Liquor Outlet, your one-stop celebration store. We are located at 6315 Zine Avenue North, Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Visit us today and feel the difference.
And I tell you, welcome back to it right here. Thanks to Park Liquor Outlet, our proud sponsor here on the Diaspora Talk on Creative Minds Television, KMTV Liberia. We are everywhere here. That's why we are here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, bringing you the best as it relates to the things coming out of Liberia and indeed our diaspora Liberian communities as well. Here in the U.S. and other parts of the world, what are the issues? There are a lot of things happening in Liberia on this first day of December. It's the first day of December. Wow. Just 20 days. 24 days to Christmas. Let's put it that way. That's the biggest festive season of our lives in the entire world. Christmas is around the corner. And in a couple of weeks, Liberia will be inducting its newly elected president in former vice president, now president-elect Joseph Newman Boyka. As a matter of fact, he's out of the country. He left the country this morning. He's on his way to the United States of America. He will be here, I understand, for about 2 weeks. This is the photograph of the former vice president, now president-elect, leaving the country early this morning. I understand, according to his office, his vice president-elect, Senator Jeremiah Pankun of Nima County, will stir the affairs of the committee. That's the Joint Presidential Transitional Committee, which former Vice President Bwaka is the co-chair, President Weah is the chair. But in his absence, I understand that his Vice President-elect, Jeremiah Pankun, will be steering the affairs of that committee from the part of the incoming leadership. So that's former Vice President. They're leaving the Roberts International Airport. I believe that person giving a hug in the blue is probably his wife, the incoming First Lady in Madam Katumu Bwaika, part of members of his delegation. We don't know the entire number of people or those all on his delegation, but I understand he's coming to the U.S. There will be a couple of meetings according to his office. There will be a couple of meetings here in the U.S., and he will also use the time to meet and thank the Diaspora Unity Party USA and Canada team who helped his campaign in raising a lot of funds, for his campaign. He will be here to help, to thank them and also do some family private visits as well. So we will keep our eyes on the roads as the former vice president is out of the country. There are a lot to talk about this wonderful Friday. My colleague Nathan Charles is joining me from somewhere. He would tell us, I believe, from home this morning, a lot of schedules, and he had to join us virtually. Nathan, welcome. Maybe you may unmute yourself. Welcome to the show. It's your show. It's good to have you. The power of technology bringing us together from different locations on this Friday afternoon.
I tell you, Saros, with technology and basic life, it's not easy. Sometimes you make schedule and you don't realize.
Out of the blue moon, you would just have to just bam, do a better thing. But thank God for technology.
Yeah, indeed. So we just have to do what we got to do and to always inform the Liberian people. That's why we have committed ourselves. So even if we have 10, 15 minutes late, we have to come out here to dilute the situation unfolding in Liberia and around the world. So indeed, we are very happy this Friday.
It's Super Friday in your end? Super Friday?
No, it's Friday. It's TGI. Everybody also one thing. Everybody love Friday.
Yeah,
whether you're in position or you're opposition, you love Friday.
Yeah, all the position. Everybody love Friday. It's the day that everybody wants to see come quickly. But I don't know. I love Monday more than other days of the week. I don't know. When I say that, people think I'm crazy. I love Monday.
You Monday guy.
My thing is that if you can make it through Monday, you're going to see the rest of the days of the week. So I love Monday. Is there any quote for us on this first day of December?
You know, the day is war is this. So all around the world, people are celebrating, creating more awareness about AIDS, and even in Liberia, people are also celebrating these days. A very big holiday, celebration around a holiday in Liberia.
So a huge celebration in commemoration of War is Day, you mean?
Yeah. So in that, we must create awareness and on the issue of AIDS. And it says, if you judge people, you have no time to love them. Mother Teresa gave that quote about HIV and AIDS. And Nelson Mandela also said, give a child love, laughter, and peace, not AIDS. So indeed, some people are very heartless. They are, infecting other people. But indeed, a lot of awareness. Like we also signed, have a campaign. I think about 20, I've forgotten the year, to eliminate or reduce the infection rate of HIV and AIDS. And I know the National AIDS program. I remember when I was in Liberia, we had the Anti-AIDS Media Network. Nicholas Andrews and the other guys were there creating more awareness. Even the media, we must put highlight about the issue of HIV and AIDS. Stigma and discrimination. When HIV and AIDS was increasing in Liberia, people started to stigmatize the like of Jojo Besa, who came up, one of the guys who anti-campaigner Jojo Besa, who came up with HIV and AIDS, creating more awareness. And you saw him; he was healthy. But go at those days where people, when they have the virus, they are so malnourished and stuff like that. But people now have the anti-retroviral virus jokes, and that they gave to people. I remember I used to cover a couple of stories when I was in Liberia at the ARV hospital, wherein people who went for the ARV jokes, that was one of the major stories. It came on the in ERBC News in Review. People could not have access to the anti-retroviral drugs, and they went there and uncovered that because it was like a secret. When people have HIV and AIDS, they not like to expose it. So I had to go undercover Act 2. I'm going for mine.
And at that time, people would think, "Oh, Nathan, you can hear too."
Yeah, you can hear too.
Well, you see people, and the thing you're talking about, there was a conference held at SKD. And then I can remember I covered one of them at the SKD out of 2010, 2011. But then Jojo Besa was indeed the head of that group. And there are people, attendees that you saw in that gathering. It's like, I'm seeing this person in the community every time, But the takeaway from there is stigmatization should not be what Liberians or people should do, because AIDS is not a death sentence, Nowadays, people can live with HIV and AIDS provided if they accept the situation and go for treatment, like you talk about the ARV, is antiretrovirus, right? Is
Yeah,
is is
anti-retro,
is
yeah.
kind of like, more common now. People can go for it. People can live with HIV once you can take a medication, and so those are education. They were trying to raise awareness, surrounding the issue of AIDS, and it is not actually a death sentence.
Indeed, I mean, like in 2019, and the number of people, 33%, according to a document I'm reading here, 33% and of those living with the HIV are receiving the ART treatment. So
Mhm.
indeed, Liberia is fighting the National AIDS program. I know even the media, we have a group, and like I said, I heard about Nicholas Andrew. When I was there, we formed that group. How can we create more awareness on the issue of HIV and AIDS? And people before were deliberately infecting other
Infecting
people,
other people.
but now it's becoming like if you
Because
know
there,
it,
there, there are strong laws on that. I can remember I watched a documentary here in the US where a guy, knowingly infected somebody, and he had to get a long period of sentencing, for doing that. So there are laws on
yeah,
that. Knowingly, once you know you are positive, you have to tell your partner. You cannot just sleep with anybody and pass it on to them, because it's terrible indeed.
yeah, and indeed, even in the U.S., in Minnesota, there is a group called the African Ebola, African HIV and AIDS Task Force. They are
Hmm.
also doing our awareness today. Hopefully, we'll be covering that even. So, even in the U.S., I regularly do my HIV and AIDS. I got it.
Treatment or
Not
test.
treatment, a test. When they're having these state fair, I remember a few months ago when they're having the state fair and stuff like that. The
Hmm.
Minnesota Department of Health, they gave you $25 gift card just to do your test. And interestingly, a Liberian guy was the one in the room doing the test.
Doing
And
the
I'm a
test.
Liberian, and I was happy we started to talk that indeed, people Liberian people are also working in the
into
department
the into the sectors.
yeah, in Minnesota to create more awareness on HIV and AIDS. And I was there, we did my test. I'm like, yeah, I always do this regular, a test just to know your status. It's not because you promiscuous, and people get infected so many ways and stuff like that.
Different
So
ways. Just by
yes,
going to the barbing shop, somebody head is cut. You can get, infected with that, blood transfusion and all of that and all of that. But is it?
but
Let's
I think I
quickly.
went for my 25 my man. I knew I was.
You went for your 25. All right. So
I think
what is
I
it?
would do 3 tests today. Get $75 free
Yes,
money. I
$75.
just killed it.
Yeah. So there are a lot happening in Liberia. Like before you came on, I was talking about the president elect is out of the country. He's coming to the U.S. He left early this morning. We saw that picture of Joseph. I don't know. Let me see what I can lay my hands on it again. I was watching. Look at the step that the old man is taking. I don't know whether you can see that.
Majestically.
Majestically walking out of the VIP lodge, I believe, at the Roberts International Airport. His right hand in his pocket, looking out, getting out to catch his flight for the US. And there are a lot of, different meetings I understand that will be taking place. But go ahead.
No, go ahead. I will come in.
There are a couple of things that we hope to follow, and a lot of things, a lot of speculations coming out of Liberia surrounding his trip to the US. But we'll keep our eyes out, like I said, to see whether we can cover and follow some of those activities. If they are within our area, we will be able to make sure we can throw the cameras on that.
Yes, so briefly, you touched on the purpose of his visit to the U.S. because we just see the office of the president elect, the problem like Liberia. You went through that, right?
Mhm.
Uh, while in the United States, Mr. Barker is expected to hold a wide range of consultation with stakeholders in the political process of Liberia, including the Unity Party, the United States, and Canada, to thank them for their massive support. Blah blah blah. He said why he is away, Vice President elect Honorable Vice President-elect Jeremiah Kuhn will conduct the affairs of the presidential transitional team, include consultation with the United States. So there are speculations that, like we're seeing on social media, a controversial talk show host Henry Costa have been posting. We've seen other people reacting to his post that the vice president and president-elect is sick and he's been lashed out. We saw the post all on social media, but we don't know that as to whether he's coming to do in America because it was not stated. These are just, it's been an open secret long time. Henry Costa and the like from the CDC have been saying that, the incoming president is sick. He has major surgery. As you know, before doing campaign, he was due to the US. He canceled that trip. Henry Costa came up. So this is an open secret. But the vice president have said that his purpose to the United States is to thank his people, his supporters, because, that's where Liberians, they contributed
play a key role
financially.
Yeah,
financially. And they convinced their people back home to also vote for the vice president. So we don't know as to whether it is for medical reason, but the vice president has said that he's coming here. And again, they said that he will be away for 2 weeks. So that also raised alarm.
The question here is that if he's away for 2 weeks, the National Elections Commission is expected to do certification next week. I think the 8th.
I think they need to, even the release say is too elementary.
Very weak.
I don't know who he have with the team to start writing, but they need to do more. Communication must be clear. 2 to 3 weeks. Look, you need to be exact. Itinerary. You must have this thing. Why say 2 or 3 weeks? Why is it? Is he coming for a visit? Is he coming for a consultation with stakeholders? You must have itinerary. And you have like you said, inauguration. So we must need to know the mayor is in the country from the 15th to the 30th, or we should know it.
Be exact.
Be exact. All of the releases you've seen, you saw
all of these things. The people who control the media team of the former vice president need to be much more detailed. We saw during the 6 years of 6 years of President Weah's leadership, these are things that people lash at his government for. The president is leaving for 2 weeks. What are some of those activities? Cataloging them so that the people know that their president is out or their president-elect is out. He's going to be doing this. He's going to be doing that. He's going to be doing the other. But you just leave it vague. It is raising a lot of questions.
Stakeholders in the political process of Liberia. Who are those? Are you going to be meeting with who? And we need to know these things because, like you said, we want to see something different. Every trip, right? There must be a result. So if this, I remember if this is a private trip, you got to say it's a private visit and stuff like that. Because one, you said political. One, you say he's meeting with supporters, and the other one he said family members while in the United States. So if you say family members, it is a private trip. So we need to know, and more details need to come from the transitional team media group. I know they have great writers, but I saw the 2-3 releases. More need to be done in terms of clearly articulating and stating as to whether this is really coming from the vice president elect office. The president elect office. No email address, no telephone number, no signature. This is a press release. Sometimes when we see these things, we who know the basic, the rudiment of a press release, we wonder because we are afraid. Who can we contact to say, hey, can we verify this thing? It's just posted all on social media. And we are journalists. We don't just go back and what we see on social media. And so sometimes it takes time. If you don't do a press release, you don't have a phone number, even an email in this modern world, what are you hiding? You must be transparent. The media must have access to you. So you can't say, no, this release, you see it on few things. And I know those who are around the vice president, you guys need to do more. I know you guys have great communicators. And we need to know it, and the media need to know what and why. So if the vice president away, who in the media can we contact as to whether to follow up his stuff? You remember one time President Sadiq came to the US and there was nothing said about her. Nothing. There was news that the president passed away.
The president is dead.
The president is dead. And, so we need more engagement. About Vice President Boga is doing well. We saw him getting out. We saw his birthday was a very
it was an elaborate one. We will come back to one important thing I want us to look at from yesterday. But from there, let's touch this from the executive mansion. The president is in Dubai, as you know. He is expected to. That's President George Weah. He's expected to address the COP28 tomorrow. Tomorrow, Saturday, the 2nd of December. According to what his team is reporting from there, his address is expected to focus on the climate change financing and will urge international community, mainly the world's leading climate champions and philanthropists, to pay key attention to countries that bear burdens of climate change by fulfilling their commitment made at the COP 26 27. So uh, a lot of people were asking when is President we are addressing the COP 28 is tomorrow. And tomorrow the second, I know Dubai is like 10 hours ahead of us. I think 5 or 6 hours, 6 hours or 5 hours ahead of Liberia. So those of you wanting to watch out for that, I'm sure it's going to be coming up from the executive mansion. But why away? The president dropped the ball on two officials of government. I don't know whether you saw that release. Two officials that were dismissed earlier today.
Yeah, that's belated, man. We needed more action,
More action.
and they'll be taking over the last 6 years. That's what, because we've been hearing, and there have been massive, irregularities, corruption there at the commerce ministry. We've been
Mhm.
hearing people saying that there's a loan program, and what the government is now distributing money to people who, that these are all allegations. But again, when you reach out to these people to get the story, it's like a click. Society bush, they don't want to say, they don't want to see certain things. So indeed, they just, again, it was also vague administrative reason. You need to
Administrative
be
reason.
clear. If this person is under investigation, the person stole from the Liberian people, if the person disobey your order, you have to state it. And I know these are flimsy and quote unquote professional or diplomatic way not to get with the person into public ridicule. But hey, you should come with clean hands. Let us know, okay, this person was dismissed for XYZ. Because we talk about background, that's what we say in Liberia. The issue with the government is more of secret. And if these people were dismissed for XYZ, the public, you owe it to us. We need to know. But I say
Why were they
administrative
dismissed?
reason.
If it
We're
was
hearing all kinds of things.
in line with corruption, in line with investigations surrounding whatever. I mean, this should be clear, like you put it. But again, the two officials of government at the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Deputy Minister for Trade and Commerce, George Wallow, and Peter D. Soma, Assistant Minister for Commerce, they were dismissed with immediate effect. Both of them, you see there on your screen, along with the president who dropped the bomb from all the way there in Dubai. And the entire country right now is more like waiting for what happened, beyond January 22nd, when the incoming leadership shall take place. And Nathan, yesterday you saw an elaborate show, for the celebration of the president elect. It was a huge day in Painesville, and we saw him launching a cleaning up campaign to clean the city of Painesville. And if you just look at this video, Nathan, I wonder how people who are in power sit there and these things happen. Can you imagine the city of Painesville is like this huge part of garbage at different points. I don't know how people take their jobs. Where is the Painesville City Corporation? You know, or people only thought about Monrovia. Monrovia is dirty. Monrovia is dirty. But what about other cities apart from Monrovia? So this team that was put together by a group of people who believe that they can give a helping hand in cleaning that city ahead of inauguration. I'm sure they're going to be extending to other cities across the country. According to them, they're going to be going other Maserati into other cities, other counties to make sure that there is a facelift before the inauguration is taken. Before the inauguration takes place, and you see the work that was being done. Let's look at what's been coming out of Painesville City.
Yes, indeed. I tell you, a healthy environment makes people to live long. Indeed, the situation with garbage disposal, the situation with our environment, more emphasis and support needed in that sector. Uh, the Painesville City Corporation have been crying, though despite receiving some support, they have been crying for equipment and manpower support to help get the city clean. Indeed, you will still find these drainages, these dump sites over polluted or overcrowded with garbage and other stuff because there is no city planning,
Mhm.
right? The city, every city must have a city manager, the person who manage that city. With people need to do their work. If there is no support tool from the other end, you find out that, hey, I mean, these garbage sirens, when I know when I was seeing like people from red light, even the how era in winter where they used to dispose the
Do
garbage.
the
So you
disposal.
need to have fun. You need to have a disposal area, and, but all the things we need to ensure that, hey, we clean our city, because they don't look good for us, and
Mhm.
this is filth.
I mean, no wonder why people continue to get sick, a lot of diseases, because these things are right within the communities where people live. I mean, and it will interest you to note that you will see people, even the community dwellers, are the ones spotting these things. Before you get to know it, the entire place is whacked out because, I mean, like you put it earlier on, you don't have, garbage disposers. I mean, there is no place that people can easily reach to dump their garbage. So all of these things come from right in the homes of people, right in the same community. And at the end of the day, we have this on our hands. It
Yeah,
shows that.
but if there is no harsher laws,
Mhm.
what do you expect? You know, when Mary Bros came from the US and started working in Liberia, and she started, instituting these things. I, for one, I mean, I just used to eat grumpy or banana and just throw it.
Joy.
But when people, because I was not, there was nobody in the street that says, hey, don't do this, don't do that. So it's like an inborn culture until you start to see somebody who's setting the example, instituting laws, and, punitive action against you, then you don't want to do it. But overnight, people will go and dispose garbage where they just clean up. I bet you in a week time, let's go back there and see what will happen.
Mhm.
So
And
even
and
in
and
red light, they don't even have place to dispose the garbage. They collect the garbage from the market. They go and put it somewhere else. And the people take the trash from their homes. They go and drop it in on a wet land, and they
yeah, and,
drop it
and
in.
I saw that. I mean, I think it was last year when I went to Liberia. Driving that Jalata in behind, the back of the University of Liberia. This person, this young child, came out of their home just by the roadside with a bag of trash and just drop it on the road, on the main road, and went back in. And I told my brother, I said, if I was not driving, or if there was not a huge something here or traffic or so, I was going to get down, take that bag, and put it back into their push. That was what I was intending to do, because we are the same people that will call on the radio station in the morning. I'm calling from the Urbana district of this, the garbage all around the place, but yet and still we are the same people. I bet my neck, like you put it, we have to have strong laws. People have to implement those laws to make sure that you have to pay to dispose your garbage. We hope that there will be a time that will come that people, like we see here, you got your garbage, you put it out on that day of garbage, and you pay that money every month for disposal. But other than that, our
Yeah,
country.
this is a great way to get money too, because if a private company, I remember a long time ago, there's the guy who had this garbage disposal before, and he used to do in the residential complex and stuff like that. So the private sector too, this is another job for the private sector. And you can go in a community, maybe the whole of Concord Town, Painesville, get these young people who will have the trash in the bags, and and you go to the homes and collect the trash. This is another way the private sector, can invest into Liberia to through garbage disposal. I know one person started a long time, and that used to do that. It was a private company that used to do a garbage disposal, mainly to the big offices
Mhm.
and apartment complex and stuff like that. Even in the US, I think we pay about $7 and for garbage disposal. You have that onto your rent, even your mortgage. So there are certain quantity you are allowed to. You put more than that, they say they will fine you. So you put your garbage outside, you got to put sticker. If that's something, your furniture and stuff, it's not garbage. You have to wait for certain time. Even in Minnesota, they have particular days. I think 2 times in a year. After 2 years, they can come and grab all your furniture. So we need to start investing into that, and that will also help, because it is indeed terrible for a Painesville City, even Monrovia, to look like one of the resources. I remember the WASH program is also in terms of water sanitation and hygiene. It's pumping money into the environment. And when our people are not healthy, they will be sick. And mosquito malaria is one of the major
The
cause of
major
death
thing.
in Liberia and Africa. So indeed,
Mosquito, the malaria. When you get to know, is one hormone is typhoid. Everybody coming down with typhoid, and these are some of the reasons why. Because you have insects all coming out of this. You have rats
rats.
running all of these things into
Yeah.
your home. They're carrying all of those, those kind of diseases. You have roaches, all kinds of things coming out of this, and people are living, selling in them. You see people sitting right by the dumpster or the garbage area selling food, selling frying color. I mean,
You bring back memories, but when I was in West Point,
frying
we just
frying color.
we just wave the people over the fly and grab our tea and eat it.
I
And,
know.
the fly die, your Gary, your fire, your bogo, you just take the fly and chunk it away, but you don't have time for it. So they say no gem in Africa, but indeed gem is in Africa. It's killing our people, and we must progress. Other countries are doing that. And, how can we not see these things that people are living good life? And, and even ourselves too in the market, we do our trash again. Look, Liberia situation is hard. It's hard
I
to
tell
tell.
people that it's the country that is giving God problem in the whole world. Liberia giving God more problem. I don't know, because we don't learn, and it will interest you to know that even people who live in developed countries will go home and they will not even try to effectuate a change. They will go even do worse than people who live over there. Those are some of the things. This is similar. A lot of people planning to go home. What are they going to do? They just go, some of them will just join the same thing that people are doing, violate the traffic, do whatever they can. I mean, with all any remorse. But then we will sit and say our country is this, our country is that. It will take every one of us Liberians to have a change in Liberia. The government will play its part, but individuals will also have to. But let me say thanks to those who took up this initiative, and I'll play you this video when the incoming president, Joseph Boakai, officially launched this cleanup campaign yesterday on his birthday.
Yeah, and one of the things he said, it was out of the equipment was presented or was provided by Liberians
And
themselves.
Liberians themselves, yeah.
That statement moved me. I see it. You see, that's what happened. The people will love the government when they come into power, but when they come into power, they disappoint the people. You saw during the CDC regime, the people printed their own T-shirts. When President Weah was getting into power, they supported that thing, but they started seeing, some failures. Some people started coming back. So when Joseph Walker said that word, it brought back memories. I'm like, you see, Liberian people love you. They will support your regime with sweat, blood, and finances. Imagine how difficult it is to feed your family, but you can bring your chapia, you can volunteer your time all day to come in and clean such a field. But when they get in power, they look all to their girlfriends, their boyfriends, their goldman, their goldpa,
their gold everything. And
me, myself, and I.
that is disappointing indeed, especially when the people put their everything on the line to elect you, to give you power, and in no time you come and do only things for you and your surrounding. Very few people enjoy the government, while others, the majority who put you there, who gave you the job, they are there struggling. You cannot even help them. I mean, I mean, what's happening to our people? A minister will live in your community. Even a police officer that is on the street, maybe that minister lives in Bannersville, for instance. You coming from Banner Stop, a police officer is on the street in his uniform, looking for means to get to work. You cannot even stop to give him lift, to even respect the uniform they are wearing. How then can we help one another? So these same people will go to the ballot box in 6 years' time and decide, the fate of you who have the jobs, have power, and you cannot help to change their living condition. One police officer wear uniform for 3 years. It turned white on his back, from navy blue to white. But then one government official is enjoying herself. Some of them, two official government vehicles are coming from their compounds. you know, the husband is minister of this, the wife is director of this, or you know, it's crazy. Just few people. So it is now.
Have you seen the police officer uniform in the US?
In fact, I remember Brooklyn Park donated some uniforms the other time to, I think, Kakata, or which city was it?
Yes, they have
Yeah,
a
you know,
relationship with
because
Kakata.
the Kakata sister city relationship. So they donated some uniforms, and those uniforms are like brand new to our officers because they don't hardly get them. They don't even get good salary. What's about the uniforms? You know, so Bwaka, you have a lot of things ahead of you, Bob. So let's listen to him yesterday when he launched this cleaning up campaign that is solely being carried out by Liberians themselves who wants to see a clean Liberia ahead of January 22nd when Bwaka is inducted into office as Liberia's next president.
I think the people say the Liberians cannot do it. Is it true that the Liberians can do it? The Liberians can do it. But the Liberians make up their mind they can do it. I listened on the radio one day, because I've been a Ghanaian follower, and he was talking about the city, how dirty the city is and so forth. But I knew that that's going to be something in the past. And this city cleaning, I'm telling you, is just of what this country is going to be. It's going to be a country that's going to be united, a country that's going to be reconciled, a country that everyone will see themselves as contributors. It's been too long our country has suffered. No hope for our youth, our elderly, our traditional leaders, our women. And I can say to the Liberians today, this is a new day in this country. It's going to be a new day in terms of how we work together. It's going to be a new day in terms of how we value one another. A new day in terms of what kind of dignity we put in our country. And I can assure you, Liberia is on the move. And I can tell you, with our hearts united, with our dedication to our Creator, this is going to be the country that everybody will envy to come. And I'm saying that in the spirit. I want to say to all of you, for this commitment, initiation, your own self-initiation, yes, to come together to do this, I want to thank you. Every material here has been provided by people. All the services by the people. But that's not the beginning. The beginning was the time in the night when you protected the votes. They were not a unity party. They were not a collaborator. But the people who say this is where we want our country to go. They did it. And I want to tell you, if all your disappointment over the years in terms of corruption, in terms of nepotism, in terms of stuff, I promise you, we are here to build a great country for you. God has not brought me this far for nothing. Not for myself, not for me to come and be corporate. Is to give opportunity to all Liberians to see the value of their value that God has placed in them.
His Excellency and the High Table will be coming of this direction to do the symbolic march. So please stay put and remain where you are.
So symbolic launch. of this clean up campaign exercise.
So later on, you listen to the incoming president, Joseph Boakai there, writing Liberians, telling them about his leadership is not going to be just about one person. It's going to be a leadership of the people. As you can see in the video, he was getting ready to officially kick off the cleaning up campaign. The old man was sticking shovel and trying to lift the trash.
For me, I don't take politicians by the words. From the moment I have had a couple of them saying these things, coming to power, and doing the other thing around. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf came, will empower people, will empower the females, marketers, and other stuff. Agenda for transformation. We saw nothing. My government will be a government of inclusion. We saw nothing. The George Weah came on his first day. He said, nobody, you'll be free. That's one of the statements I took from him. You'll be free to exercise your political rights in any government entity. Few days, he kicked out Mo Ali from the Unity Party and sent him to River G. And then everything started.
Reassignment to
reassigned. So Joseph Boakai is saying that this government is a unit of unity. How much of the opposition have you seen he invited to this ceremony? I saw only one independent, Samuel Enos, District Number 6 representative of Moserado County. He was at that ceremony. That's how we know. They say if your day will be good, your night you start from the morning, or your Christmas will be good, you start from the eve. We want to see more of their involvement, into this, and that's one of the things I saw only from the representative Samuel Enos there. What are the involvement of other people who are opposition in that same Painesville area, right? You have different kinds of people who work. I think Todd, he ran for District Number 6 in previous election from the CDC. Other parties from the CDC, they are there from other opposition. We want to see more of their involvement. And indeed, he said it is the Liberian people own support. How can they continue to encourage Liberians, to always support the government? It's not just one day. And you say, don't Liberia will be spectator, we wait to see the marketeers, the ordinary people. You saw they all turn out to support this. But mind you, some people are just doing this volunteer job in anticipation of something. So this must be well coordinated. And it will not be like based on, okay, I'll just give my one thing, just put my name on the paper to get something. It must be genuine, right? And indeed, they have to structure these things. If you don't structure them, maybe Dubo Road, Painesville, then it will become crazy. Remember, Mary Bro Saturday cleaning up campaign, no markets open. So we need such a robust mandate from the president to get Liberia clean. That place is filthy. Some part of that area is filthy. And I tell you, how can we do it? It's only if we have the president or the leadership who will institute these things and also motivate the people. Not rooting with iron hand, but you have to also motivate them. And they want to see you in these different cleanup exercises. And early morning, pick up your chapia, we can call it, your shovels, and go into this community, help the people to help clean their area. And also provide more opportunities for them, like people who fix the brooms you see in the hand, right? You can support these local businesses to produce more brooms, blacksmith to produce more shovels, instead of you going to SETI or Jetty and buying $15-20 shovel. So that's what I'm saying. This is a money-making thing.
And look at the number of young people that show up with their broom. Everybody come with something to clean with, and see what the turn-off is. And like you put it, it has to be done, but the government have to take the lead. There should be people appointed to head the different cities that are effective.
Different communities, yeah.
The community-wise, that's just a city mayor who would just think that I should go to this place one day and go clean up and what the other communities are doing. So if you see these people, coming together, using their own resources, their own materials, to speak, to tell the public, this is what we have to do. We have to keep our country clean. And I believe this is a good footing from the end of former Vice President Boakai now, president-elect. But on this note, we'll take a very short break. The speakership race is heating up, Neto, and you don't want to know the fifth person joining the race. Let's take this break. When we come back, we'll touch on that briefly. And this weekend, the
Tanapoli used to say, "I'm not learning, like you learning."
I'm not learning. I'm not learning. This weekend, Minnesota Liberian community will also be going to the polls to elect some new members to the board of the Organization of Liberian Community. I mean, in Minnesota, that's the OLM. The vice chair of the election commission is our own Joel Sonega Mason. He will join us to give us an update to brief Liberians in these Twin Cities on what's going to be happening beginning tomorrow. A huge debate is expected, and leading on to the election, he will give us the rundown, the timetable for the OLM election. Let's take this very quick break with our sponsor, the Park Liquor Outlet, and when we come back, we will bring in Joe Mason, and we'll also look at the race for speaker in Liberia. One controversial figure has declared his intention to be Liberia's next speaker. Let's be back very shortly.
Let your celebration begin with Park Liquor Outlet, your first Liberian-owned liquor store in the city of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. We have everything that you need to set that special occasion or bride. For your next party or great get-together with friends, visit Park Liquor Outlet. We have great selection of beer, wine, gin, and many more at affordable prices. Our customer service will make you always want to come back. We are open Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Park Liquor Outlet, your one-stop celebration store. We are located at 6315 Zine Avenue North, Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Visit us today and feel the difference. When the issues of Liberia hit the news,
What is it that we, the Liberian people, want?
the Liberian communities in the diasporas are not left out. That's why Diaspora's Talk is back on your screens on KMTV.
In fact, the United Party is not cohesive.
Be it social, political, economic, and other issues affecting Liberia and the diaspora Liberian communities.
I did not expect to even make it to Hollywood.
Join Cyrus McGee and Nathan Charles every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, live on KMTV, Facebook, and YouTube.
I want to be arrested in the midst of my people.
As they discuss the issues, blending the voices from Liberia and the diaspora Liberian communities.
The Liberian Business Association in the diaspora should be used as a vehicle for economic development in Liberia because no country can develop without a diaspora impact.
For sponsorship, call cell numbers 612-806-5896, 816-433-3979, or better still, email us at usakmtv@gmail.com. Diaspora Talk, don't miss out.
And I tell you, Diaspora Talk here on Creative Minds Television, KMTV Liberia. We are everywhere. That's why we are here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 12:30 or 12 midday, whatever time that we catch you on for this presentation. And Nathan is here with me. Very shortly, we'll bring in Joe Mason. Nathan will be leading us very shortly. It's a busy Friday, and I know, but as soon as he takes his exit, we'll welcome Mr. Joe Mason, who will run us through the electoral process of the Organization of Liberians in Minnesota. But Nathan, just before you take off, the race for speakership in Liberia is heating up. There are names, 4 names were already in the loop. Richard Kuhn, as you see him there, of Maserado, Deputy Speaker Funati Kofa as well was it was open that he's contesting. The one of the longest serving lawmaker, Thomas Fala, is also contesting, and Musa Hassan Belete recently declared. But guess what? Guess who declared their intention today to join the race? Representative Yeke Yagbazuo Koluba. So, as it stands, we understand 5 persons, all male, are now intending to contest for the speakership in Liberia. Yeke Koluba the controversial figure in the man who says it as it is. He'll be tough most of the times, but he's there and speaking the truth to power with all fear and favor. The list, Nathan, just before you go, I know we are hoping to have Musa Belete on Monday. He agreed to join us on Monday to talk about his bid, but the latest name on the list is Yeke Kolba. What's your take just before you leave us?
One, I think we need a speaker who will be more robust, not a rubber stamp speaker. I know people are saying because it happened during the regime of the CDC, so it have to happen during the regime of the Unity Party for smooth transition of his plans and his policy. But it's about Liberia. You and I know that we have had a story of our lawmakers, uh, passing bills or receiving envelopes only in their interest. And some of these very lawmakers have come back to admit that, oh yes, the contract I signed years back, it was wrong. Now they realize. So having somebody with integrity, like the names, I mean, put up the picture. We know Yeke Kolba first. Let's start with Yeke Kolba. In terms of leadership, he's not the kind of person fit for that job. I tell you, it's about leadership. When they make you a manager, you put away your personal feelings. You look at the situation from the far. So in terms of his outburst, he is not fit, in my opinion, to lead his colleague there, because we need somebody who is a leader.
Do you think I'm wondering whether he's really serious with this, or is this trying to through what we call monkey wrench, destroy the numbers and in favor of somebody else?
Well, who knows? We don't know where he's staying from, and maybe he had a consultation with other people, so we don't know. And
yeah, but I know we will have to go detail into this based on the time. I just wanted us to just look at what the trend is. I mean, that the entire thing is taking, but we will look at them. I mean,
I think it's between. It will be between what his name Funati Kofa and what his name
Musa Belete or Thomas Fala?
No, Funati Kofa. What other person? The first guy you put his name is Richard Kuhn. Richard Kuhn comes from the Unity Party belt, and I think they will want to push. And Funati Kofa, you saw the man dancing war dance with Joey when Grand Crew and other era. And you know his story from the Liberty Party. He was in the Liberty Party before he switched over. So, and he has been within the political sector before, from from one era to another era. So he liked this thing to change. But from what I've been observing and looking at the two, is between both Kuhn and Kofa. Thomas Fala will just probably be pushing, for them to win that speakership, because they need a voice to be heard. And if they get that speakership, they have something to hold the government accountable for, or to deny them some of their riches.
That's one thing that we as administration enjoy. They had a speaker, they had a pro tem, they could easily what they want. They created or set up the leadership of the House, the Senate. So yeah, but next week we hope to dive more into that. We hope to bring some of our legislative colleagues from Liberia who are covering these people, that we can have a full conversation. Like I said, we're expecting Musa Belete on Monday. But Nathan, I'll catch you later on. Have yourself a very, very wonderful weekend. We'll see later on. Today, beginning this evening, leading up to the weekend. So let me let you go.
Thanks so much, and bye to my Liberian people.
All right, Nathan Charles there, and I'd like to welcome from backstage Mr. Joel Soniga Mason. He's the former president of the Association of Liberian Journalists in the Americas. Mr. President, welcome. It's good to have you here with us on Diaspora Talk this afternoon.
Thank you, Cyrus. It's good to be back this time in a different capacity, playing a different role. But it's good to be back. By the way, I don't know how my name ended up being spelled with B at the end.
It's from your input. If you may, I can just get you off and bring you back on. Maybe you want to do that correction for the sake of the viewers, so that people don't hold me in contempt.
Correct. Okay.
And maybe when you come back, you can have your camera in landscape so that we have a bigger frame of you on the screen.
We'll do that.
All right, Joe will do that quick adjustment and he will rejoin us here on Diaspora Talk this afternoon. We will be looking at the names surfacing for the election of both members of the Organization of Librarians in Minnesota. That's the OLM. The OLM go to election this weekend. There are seats that are up for grabs, as you can see from this flyer. There are seats that are up for grabs. 6 persons are contesting, and then the number looks so beautiful. 3 males, 3 females. They're contesting to be on the board of the OLM. Arthur Bia is already on the board. I think he's seeking re-election to the board. So those are the faces you see. Like I said, is really looking beautiful, balanced with 3 males, 3 females. I love to see this. Unlike other elections that we will see, a group of males, like we were just talking about the speakership for Liberia. There is no female stepping up to challenge the guys in the House of Representatives. They're all males. But with this, the OLM is changing the dynamics. We see men and women stepping up, seeking leadership in our community. Joe is back with us. Joe, welcome back. Thanks for doing that. Here out of his title, OLM Election Commissioner. But it's good to have you, Mr. Commissioner. Let me put it that way. I know you had to step away from your office duties and taking on this that you pledged to do for your community. First of all, I'd like to say thanks for your service, and let's hear you.
Of course, Iris. I think once you're asked to provide a service, for some of us who believe that service is important, once you're asked, I was more than happy to serve in this capacity because, mind you, there are thousands and thousands of Liberians who are part of the OLM here in Minnesota. And the numbers go as far as 35 to 40,000. And the OLM is the organization in charge of administering the affairs of Liberians here. And so I was pleased to be able to do that. So it's an important elections coming up for the board of directors. There are 4 open seats currently on the board, and we have 6 candidates who are contesting those 4 open seats. The election is this Sunday, the 3rd of December, and we have an important debate today, and we can talk about that as well.
So let's drive through the process first. Tell us from the commission what the plans are. How prepared are you to take on this? We know the OLM election some time back was like almost like a national elections where people contested. There were heated arguments, debates were strong. The countings, people follow that so closely. The commission will have to be tough in making sure that the right thing is done. How prepared is your commission?
We are prepared. All the commissioners, I just want to acknowledge them from the chairman, Mr. C. Wilson, to other members of the commission, Mr. Vamu, Kamal, Reverend Thomas Goba, Bernie Zien, and every other member of the commission. Many come to the commission with quite a bit of experience in this matter to serve on other elections commissions that administer elections here for the OLM. So I think we are prepared. We're ready for the process, and we want to encourage, as many Liberians as possible here in Minnesota to come out, not just for the debate tonight. We start at 7 p.m. at the OLM offices, 7001 78th Avenue here in Brooklyn Park, but also for the election itself, which is on Sunday, polls open at 8 a.m. and will be dealt at 6 p.m. So we just want to encourage everyone to come and be a part of this exercise.
I know we put this flyer up. If you may, you can just tell us about the qualification process of these candidates on your commission. What did it take into consideration to qualify them to be on the ballot come Sunday?
Yes, so they had to go through the vetting process. You might know, Cyrus, if you've done that. 3 of the candidates who are contesting are incumbent. They are seeking re-election. They include Mr. Mohammed Dukle, Mr. Arthur Bia, and Mr. Ishmael Komara, the 3 members who are seeking re-election. But we're also pleased that there are new candidates who are entering the race. As a matter of fact, they're all female candidates, all new, who are seeking to serve on the OLM board. They include Charles Elton George, they include Romanda Gay, and Thomas Brown King. So we're pleased to see, these ladies venturing into serving the community, and we're looking forward for not just an engaging and interesting debate this evening, but an election where we're looking forward to seeing a significant number of Liberians come up to be a part of this process.
And what are the guidelines that you had as it relates to who can contest? What were you looking for as a commission? What was your mandate?
Well, you have to submit a formal application. You have to have come highly recommended. So you have to send in a number of recommendations, and there was also the financial requirement that you have to meet. I believe, I think it was $500 a candidate, and they all met all those requirements, and so by virtue of that, they were eligible to contest the elections on Sunday.
So tell us, people watching from Minnesota, Liberians, who are those that can vote?
Well, you have to be an OLM member, and you have to pay your dues. So I think, and I want to be clear about this. I think there is a minimum due requirement that you have to pay. I don't know for sure, but I encourage you, if you're not certain and you don't know what the requirements are, please show up at the OLM offices on Sunday morning, or you can either do that prior to coming, because I know in the past when I voted, I had to fulfill my membership requirement, and then I was eligible to vote. So you can fulfill that membership requirement on the same day of the election. There will be folks from the OLM who will be there to collect your membership dues and qualify you to come and vote. So those processes happen at the polling center. So if you haven't already done that, don't stay away. You can do that on the day of the election.
So somebody just moving to Minnesota can also have the opportunity?
I believe so. Again, like I said, we have to check with the OLM to be. I mean, I know because I'm a commissioner. I know all the requirements for candidates. The OLM, of course, will vet individual members who are eligible to vote. But again, I believe that if you live here in the Twin Cities and you've made your financial commitment to the OLM, you should be eligible to vote.
All right, and what exactly Liberians should expect the climate to look like come a Sunday?
We've had the commission have had an engaging more than one encounter with the candidates. I think all the candidates, in my mind, they're qualified. All the candidates have a desire to serve the community, and I think you cannot but applaud them because this is a voluntary service they intend to provide the community. It will take the time, it will take the commitment, and so I just want to applaud all of them for stepping up and saying, "I want to serve," because sometimes it comes with a lot of criticism, but very little benefit. So I just want to applaud them, and I'm looking forward again, like I said, this evening, to hearing from them in terms of why they want to be in this race, what they believe they can bring to the community once elected, and so I'm looking forward to hearing from them, and not just me. I'm sure Liberians who will come out to vote want to hear from them as well, so that way they are making an informed decision when Sunday comes in terms of making their choice for members of the board.
All right, so that's a huge one indeed, and we're trying to see whether we can connect with the executive director as well of the OLM to give us some clarity on what they're going to be doing from their own office. So the debate this Friday, I mean tonight, I think if today is Friday anyway, the debate tonight, dread us through what we are expecting to see when we roll the cameras out there at that debate hall.
Yeah, so thankfully, KMTV will be there to afford Liberians who will not have the opportunity to attend the debate in person to also hear from these candidates. The debate will be hosted by Alja, that is the Association of Liberian Journalists in the Americas, professional folks who have done this thing many times. So I believe it will be an interesting exercise. We are hopeful that all the candidates will be there, all 6 of the candidates will be there, and they will basically, again, like I said, talk about themselves because they need to, even if they've been on the board, but reintroduce themselves for those who are already on the board, but those who want to come on, it'll be an opportunity for people to get to know them. And then just talked about, again, like I said, why, they're seeking to serve on the board. What skills set do they bring on the board, and what are their own goals and visions were they to be elected on the board? So, I think it will be an interesting engagement, and I'm looking forward to the exercise, and I'm hoping that Liberians can show up to hear from these candidates.
And the commissioners themselves, people will want to check the credibility of the commissioners, and you as the vice chair, what can you say about members of the commission?
You highly qualified, very skilled. The commission is led by Mr. Steve Wilson. Steve is a popular name here in the community. Someone who's committed himself not just to service, who bring to the commission a lot of expertise, both in the work he did prior and the work he's doing now. I serve as co-chair, obviously. Was recently president of Alger, have served on the board of many organizations here as well. So, I hope that gives me the credibility and the expertise to serve on this commission. Mr. Vamo Kamara is also on the commission as well. Bernice is someone who is an experienced hand. I've been a member of the board not the board, I'm sorry, but I've been a member of the commission in the past. So she brings a lot of experience. Reverend Thomas Goba from the Ebenezer Church in Bloomington is someone with an impeccable character and reputation. So, I believe the board, and I want to thank the executive director for just, attaching the kind of significance that need to be attached to an election of this magnitude and bringing on board people with the credibility, with the expertise to run this exercise. And I believe we do have the credibility to do that.
And that's a huge one indeed. Stepping out, making sure that you can work in the interest of your community is one thing a lot of people will shy away from, and you guys are taking it up. And if you have to encourage Liberians within, the Twin Cities, what would be your message out to them?
Yeah, I think we all need to be constrained or be deliberate in choosing our leaders, people who make decisions that affect all of us here in the Twin Cities in Minnesota. And the OLM happens to be, the preeminent organization of Liberians here in Minnesota. So I think it's incumbent upon all of us to be engaged in this exercise, to play a part in the decision making, similar to what happens, we just had a major elections in Liberia that you guys were talking about. People, stood in line, went to the poll because they were concerned about the direction of the country and wanted to make a difference, see a change happen. It's not enough to just criticize when things go bad with the OLM. You have to be engaged in the exercise. This is an opportunity for you to come out and elect the people who will oversee the running of the OLM. So I'm encouraging every Liberian under the sound of my voice who live in the Twin City who is eligible to vote to come out and vote come Sunday. I also say come out and be a part of the debate taking place this evening, so that way you're hearing directly from the candidates. And I believe at some point during tonight's debate, there will be an opportunity for the audience members to ask questions. So I think it will be a wonderful exercise. So, I'm encouraging everyone to come out and be a part of the process.
All right, Kamati Dia is joining us via telephone. We couldn't get him directly on. Kamati, are you there? Let's see what Kamati, are you there?
I'm here.
All right, that's the executive director of the OLM, the man who runs the day-to-day activities of the organization. Kamati, welcome to Diaspora Talk. Quickly, before we wrap it up, we thought to get some information from you as it relates to people who can vote in the election this weekend. Firstly, thanks for your service to the community.
Thank you very much, Cyrus. I think I'm glad that you have the Election Commission represented on the show. It is open to all Liberians, and OLM, as you know, is a membership-based nonprofit organization. So those members are allowed to put in their vote to choose whoever they think can lead the community as leaders. However, you have to be what we call a bona fide occurrence member, and then that includes establishing the fact that at least you have to pay your minimum dues to make you current, and that minimum due is, I think, $10. So we are not paying to vote. We're just trying to certify your what you call current membership or bona fide membership. So it's open to any member of the organizational Liberians in Minnesota.
So it's like anybody just moving to Minnesota recently can prove that they are Liberian, they have an address in Minnesota, they can have the opportunity to vote if they can meet up with the financials.
If they can meet with the category that qualified them as a bona fide member, yes, the answer yes. And another thing, even though this is a membership-based organization, but we do not only serve the Liberian community, we serve beyond the Liberian community. But when it comes in terms of electing the officials that will be the board members, it's only the membership that do that.
All right, so tell us about, I mean, the day, how are you going to be helping the commission? Will you have volunteers making sure that these check marks are put in place?
So, as you all know, the Independent Election Commission, when OLM established it, we have nothing to do with them. They function independently. But yes, we do facilitate the process to be smooth. We have OLM staff that would do the certification to establish that this person, in fact, is qualified to vote. We have our staff here helping the election commissioners. But anything that has to do directly with the elections will be determined by the commission. And everything that is done is consistent with our constitution and bylaws.
All right, Kamati, thank you so much. I know I had to pull you away from your busy time as well to give us this clarity, but Joe is here. He's wrapping up with us, and we all looking out to see, like, hoping that Liberians can come out to exercise their rights in voting for their leaders this weekend.
Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. And I want to also thank you for your job giving information to the community and hosting us to have information disseminated properly. You have a nice day.
All right, Kamati Diada, he's the executive director of the OLM. Joe, you heard him. As we wrap it up, I know we will all be busy out there beginning this evening. I'd like to say thanks to you for joining us. And if there's any final words, you can just give that just before we wrap it up.
Yeah, I want to thanks to you as well. Like the executive director mentioned earlier, I know KMTV will be there this evening to bring the debate live. You all have done that consistently, trying to keep Liberians here informed about what's happening in the community. I think that's very, very laudable. Again, before I leave, I just want to encourage all Liberians who can make it this evening to come out and listen to the candidates who are seeking to serve on the OLM board of directors. These are people who want to be our leaders, and it's important for us before we cast our vote, hear from them and make a determination, based on what they tell us, based on their qualification. Again, come out on Sunday, the 3rd of December. This Sunday, that's when election will take place. The polls will open from 8 in the morning to 6 in the evening. Again, like you hear the executive director say, it's a really seamless exercise. All you have to do is satisfy your membership with the OLM, pay a $10 fee, and you are eligible to vote. So we want as many Liberians as possible to be a part of this exercise. So again, thank you, Cyrus. Thanks to the ED. Thanks to the rest of the election commissioner, the independent election commissioner, and I'm looking forward to a healthy debate this evening.
Thank you so much, Joe. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you later on this evening.
Thank you, Cyrus. Thank you.
All right, Joe Mason, he's the vice chair of the Elections Commission that is conducting elections for members of the board of directors of the Organization of Librarians in Minnesota, the OLM. As you can see, or as you saw on the flyer there are 6 persons contesting, 3 persons seeking re-election, and there are 4 seats, I understand, on the board that are open, and these wonderful people, 3 males, 3 females, are in the race to fill those 4 seats. Who are those that's going to be lucky? The lucky 4, we will decide when Liberians get out there on Sunday to vote. This evening is the debate. Make it if you can at the OLM office in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, just off Brooklyn Boulevard, and we will be there as well. For those of you out of Minnesota who cannot make it to watch the debate, we will be there to bring it live right on your screen. Until Monday, when we are here with a brand new edition of the Diaspora Talk, we expecting to have Musa Hassan Belete with us on Monday. He's the chairman of the Collaborating Political Parties, representative-elect of Nema County, and he's also contesting for the speakership of the Republic of Liberia in the 55th National Legislature. So he will be here to talk to us about his bid, why he thinks he should be elected as Speaker of the House of Representatives to fill that seat when Buffer Chambers leaves in January. Until Monday, have yourself a wonderful time, a great weekend from where we sit here in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota. This is KMTV, and I'm Cyrus McGee. My colleague Nathan Charles was here earlier on, but he had to leave for some pressing engagement. We see you on Monday. Bye-bye.
When the issues of Liberia hit the news,
What is it that we, the Liberian people, want?
the Liberian communities in the diasporas are not left out. That's why Diaspora's Talk is back on your screens on KMTV.
In fact, the United Party is not cohesive.
Be it social, political, economic, and other issues affecting Liberia and the diaspora Liberian communities.
I did not expect to even make it to Hollywood.
Join Cyrus McGee and Nathan Charles every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, live on KMTV, Facebook, and YouTube.
I want to be arrested in the midst of my people.
As they discuss the issues, blending the voices from Liberia and the diaspora Liberian communities.
The Liberian Business Association in the diaspora should be used as a vehicle for economic development in Liberia because no country can develop without a diaspora impact.
For sponsorship, call some numbers 612-806-5896, 816-433-3979, or better still, email us at usakmtv@gmail.com. Diaspora Talk. Turn this out.